Jane, go right ahead.
Welcome, everyone. It's a gorgeous day. We appreciate your being here. I believe right now some of the members and interested parties are down at the Board of Supervisors meeting to discuss the changes in the area and can perhaps tell you about that. But otherwise, I'm delighted to welcome you, Ann Lindsay, who is an MD and president of Life Care Humboldt's Board of Directors and founder, really, a group focused on establishing a nonprofit senior life plan community in Humboldt County. She was Humboldt County Public Health Officer from 1993 to 2011. She and her husband, Alan Glaseroff, MD, shared a family practice in Arcata for 28 years and raised their two children here. They were recruited to Stanford University in 2011 to establish a primary care unit for Stanford employees and dependents and their families who have multiple chronic health conditions. The clinic provided improved care, lowered costs, and achieved top rankings in patient satisfaction with adoption of a new model of team care. Sometime you ought to talk about that, Anne. The lure of life in Humboldt brought them back north in 2017. She's is working on Life Care Humboldt, so she will not have to leave Humboldt County again. And go for it. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you. And one thing I must say about joining, whoops, let's see, where we go. Okay, joining OLLI. If you have that student card, I've traveled in London and I got the student discounts. You get them at the grocery stores too, so it's a really good, it's a bargain. And the other thing that I always love hearing the introductions to OLLI because Life Plan Humboldt has the same goal of promoting lifelong learning. And that, that's a core goal of Humboldt. So we have a lot in common. So here we are giving an update and we'll have time for questions. You can raise your hand and whatever during the presentation and or after. We've been going since December 2019, and we had a meeting at the Humboldt Area Foundation and said a lot of people have been thinking about alternatives for older adults, and we had consensus to go ahead. And we formed a nonprofit. And our goal is, let's see, I'm going to get rid of this. Got to get, you guys are in my way. Oh, here we go. Did the screen share go away?
No, we can see it.
I can't. Let's see, view. You got to view. Huh. Now here we are boasting about how we could do.
Try unsharing your screen and reshare it. It might reset your settings.
And we were boasting about how we're experts. Okay, here we go. All right. So the our mission as a nonprofit is to build a mixed income, non-for-profit senior community for active adults in Humboldt County, California. And why did this grassroots community based effort really originate and catch on? Because there's nothing like it within 200 miles. And that one of our volunteers said, social connection can add years to your life and life to your years. We now have 78 trained volunteers that we call ambassadors, and I say it's the easiest volunteer job because you basically get an hour and a half training and then with periodic updates, and you go out and talk to your friends and neighbors about Life Plan Humboldt and help out with our events that are always always fun. And since January 2023, the volunteers have reported over 10,000 hours. And I know some very active volunteers who refuse to report hours, so we're probably higher than that. We've raised 3.2 million, I actually think it's $3.3 million now, towards building this community. And it was kind of the whole grassroots thing is really unusual in life plan communities, and we've gained national attention because of this, and also because of our association or partnership with affordable, for low-income senior housing. But it really is a testimony to Humboldt County that we can, start with nothing and start with idea and a group of enthusiastic people and really going to build an amazing project. But if you're interested in volunteering, you can go to our website. One of the big things that helped us along in our fundraising, because it really is more of a, going to take more than $10 million to get to the point where we can get construction bonds for construction. So we were able, with the help of North Edge Financing, which used to be Arcata Economic Development Corporation, to arrange a line of credit. And contributors include the Headwaters Fund, the Humboldt Area Foundation, Community Visions, North Edge Financing, and REDEC. And this enabled us to actually purchase a property in June 2025. And the photograph here is, we had a celebration at the property, and it was really an exciting time for all of us because we've been working on this hard for a long time. So many of you already know this, but I just, in case of review, I'm going to show where the property is. It's a 14.58 acres in the McKinleyville Town Center. And to the right, you see Central Avenue. And if you turn left, just beyond the credit union, that's Hiller Road. And it's a wonderful piece of property. Actually, if you walk out into it, it's quiet, even though it's in the town center. And to the south is Timber Ridge, for the company, a locally owned assisted living and memory care. And to the north is another 43 acres or so that belongs to Ann Pearson and is also part of the developing McKinleyville Town Center. And very exciting news, which you may not have heard, is that Ann has created a nonprofit, and she hired Peter Pennycamp, formerly of the Humboldt Area Foundation, to put it together. And she is going to turn over this 43 acres and the shopping center that has a Safeway and a number of businesses to the nonprofit, so that really can be the development of the property north of Hiller will be just community inspired and community developed, just like Life Plan Humboldt is community developed. And I found that very exciting, really exciting news. As I mentioned, we have an agreement with Rural Community Housing. We're going to split off in a 2-acre parcel and which allow them to develop 50 affordable senior apartments. And we have the subdivision before the Planning Commission now. So, I mean, not the Planning Commission, the Planning Department. And the idea is we're committed to access, and so that residents of the affordable senior housing will have access to the same amenities and activities as Life Plan Humboldt residents. And what's one of the things I love about Humboldt County is I think we're very, our social networks are very economically diverse, and we all, especially have a number of artists and writers and all of that are often, and people who work for nonprofits who often given their lives to the community and don't have, would be eligible to live in low-income housing. So, and as I said, this is very unusual for a life plan community to have a partnership like this. But it's the Humboldt way, isn't it? We do things that are unusual and that are good. So we have a feasible business plan, and we're going to make community now consists of 101 cottages and apartments. And we will have some room to grow if we're great success. And the purpose is we want to support active aging, and there'll be walking trails, dining option, group activities, and independent living features. So this is just a draft, so don't get too excited about it. But I wanted to show you possibly how things could look. And we're going to have along the north of property, we're going to have a string of apartment buildings. And then these little, these are cottages. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but the things that label 4 are cottages.
We can.
You can, okay. Here's a wetland area, so we're going to shrink down the wetlands there and improve it, and there'll be a walking trail along that and some beautifully landscaped area. To the east, in the future development, or it depends on what the demand is, we can put more cottages here. And then we're going to be this apartment building here to the east is for affordable housing. And then further to the east is a off-leash dog area, because a number of people interested in this happen to be dog owners. And we want to have a dog-friendly environment. Although interesting, one of our role models is the Rose Villa in Portland, and the CEO there interviewed the dogs that come in to move into the community, and she wants to make sure that they're friendly and compatible. And actually, if the dog acts up, they get like a fix-it ticket and have to go to a trainer. And if the dog continues to cause problems, the owner has to decide to move with the dog or just move the dog off. This lighter area is potential for future development, including the part that I'm very excited about is memory care home. And this has been a passion of mine. And my mother had Alzheimer's, and another one of our board members had two parents with Alzheimer's, and we really have our ears to the ground to listen to all the exciting models and things that are happening for memory care. And one thing is that everybody in the community, and we'll include Timber Ridge in this, but everybody in the community, residents and staff, will have trained on how to best support people with dementia and their care sharers, or their caregivers, and in order to make it a very friendly environment for people with dementia. And then also, then there's models like a Montessori model or a greenhouse model, which is more home-like environment with a kind of a unique staffing model that that has non-professional staff, or actually, or nursing assistants who rather than have somebody doing housekeeping and somebody doing activities and somebody doing cleaning, and somebody doing the dining stuff, the employees in the greenhouse, which the model calls them shazim, will do all of those activities. So there'll be fewer people, and which is a better environment for people with dementia. They're more likely to, develop a good relationship, both, and the caretakers are likely to develop a better relationship with the residents with dementia. And it's improved turnover in such memory care homes. So that's really also a model we're looking at. And again, there will be, this is going to be Nursery Way. There's a portion of Nursery Way which goes up to Timber Ridge right here. And we are going to continue Nursery Way across. Also, we are planning to build a midtown trail, bike trail to connect to, there's parts of Midtown Trail on the south. There will be across this property to the north, and then even north of the undeveloped property there's more of the Midtown Trail, bike and pedestrian, bike and walking trail. And that does, can connect us up to Hiller Trail, which is part of, ultimately, I think the plan is to connect it all the way to San Francisco. So probably not in our lifetime, but I think I love the concept that we can really get exercise and stay off the streets. For those of you, a number of you came to our, every year for the last 3 years, we've had a Raise the Roof celebration and fundraiser at Fieldbrook Winery. They've been very generous in hosting us. And we raised over $73,000, and the focus was improving safety on Hiller Road. And we had quite a few sponsors of the event, but I want to give a special thanks to what I call the super sponsors of Pacific Builders and Ming Tree Realty of McKinleyville. So it's a fun party. We'll have another one next year, so make sure you come. Meanwhile, we did have a naming campaign, and many of you might have sent in names. We had over 300 wonderful suggestions, and we selected Humboldt Commons. And in talking to people about this community and about why they live here in the first place, Humboldt is a really key part of it. We love Humboldt County. It's not important to have it in our name. And Commons reflects the fact that we want to be open to the community, that it's not going to be a walled off, closed community. There are so many amenities and wonderful things going on in McKinleyville that we want to invite the community in and participate in community life. Here's some other names. Gotta have a little humor here, but my favorite actually was The Last Resort, but somehow we weren't sure that would carry off. So I came, right now, hopefully the Board of Supervisors is considering the environmental impact report and the whole town center ordinance, and I hope they pass it. It's been a 5 or 6 year process by the McKinleyville Municipal Advisory Committee to develop it with a lot of community input. And what they've done is set some design standards, and including those for Life Plan Humboldt or Humboldt Commons. And after which, once the environmental impact report passed and the ordinance is enacted, we will be principally permitted, which means we'll go directly to the building department, because as long as we follow the guidelines, we're set to go. And it's been, we've been participating in this process. It's taken lots and lots of time on the McKinleyville Advisory Committee. People are volunteers, but officially appointed by the Board of Supervisors. And they essentially functioned as a design review committee. And the process that they've adopted is what's called a form-based code. So they set the rules, and then it makes it easier, more enticing for people to develop. The plan for the parcel across the street that the new Ann Pearson nonprofit will direct is for mixed use development. There'll be 14 acres of wetland with trails along the setbacks along the wetlands, and hopefully there'll be, we're looking to be a shop, transit center, and shops with apartments up above and some multifamily housing. So it'll also be a bike trail through there, and bike trail connecting both north-south and east-west. So if you don't already get our newsletter, you can go to lifeplanhumboldt.org and sign up for updates. We have a wonderful newsletter, comes out once a month. It's a good way to find out what's happening. So some exciting news is that we have been officially invited to affiliate with Kendall, and it's a confederation of 11 communities, and we benefit from their experience and expertise in senior living. And the Kendall community share Quaker-inspired values, which very much line with the values that we've, developed here in our at when we started our nonprofit, and which include environmental stewardship, community engagement, continued learning, access, and sustainability. So it's really been a thrilling opportunity for us. Not only will we get expertise, in developing, and we got our board members have a lot of expertise, but none of us ever run a senior life plan community before. But also it'll give us some national exposure because Kendall communities are very well respected life plan communities. And I first visited one in 1973, and I thought it was like looked like college without the tests. So I've had that in the back of my mind for a long time. And also we'll get operational efficiencies, purchase discounts and insurance discounts and information technology discounts and things like that. So here's our new logo of the Humboldt Commons, Kendall affiliate. And every time we bring Kendall sends people here, we bring them to Clam Beach for a walk. We call that, and on a driving tour, we call it to see how beautiful Humboldt County is. So many of you have completed, we had actually two-part survey that initially went out to 4,000 older adults in Humboldt County, and the second round, I think about 130 people completed. It was much more extensive. So, and we listened to what you had to say. And a lot of it is we were planning already, and some of the input did make some changes for us. But people want walking trails. They want outdoor quiet space. They want help coordinating medical care and home health. And that's one of the, one of the positions, one of the employees we're going to start out with is a care coordinator. And still in the plans for us to have kind of a video conferencing or telemedicine, telehealth center. And the care coordinator, we're going to help people arrange for services and help and medical care, and provide advice on how to get there, where to stay, how to get your records there, and make sure that things are arranged properly, and even help with Zoom visits, because not everybody is comfortable with Zoom. And also when you're not feeling well, it really helps to have somebody helping you coordinate it all. That people wanted in the surveys, it was a lot of interest in occasional housekeeping for an additional fee, and transportation and medical appointments and shopping for an additional fee. So many more things, but these are just like the ones that got 75% of the interest or more. Other things people wanted: music and community room, and there are a number of musicians, fitness and exercise room. And I must say there are 3 gyms, very close to Humboldt Commons. So we not planning an extensive gym, but we do really want a place where some classes can happen and some exercise equipment can be installed. And library, people want where you can exchange DVDs, CDs, books. A bistro cafe that was not interested in formal dining with, having wait people serve you, but more informal dining. It doesn't surprise me. And then an area with self-serve coffee and tea with comfortable seating, so just to promote socializing. and storage areas for your bikes, kayak, camping gear. And we're working with architects on that. I must say, there's a Hugh Hall has a huge storage space, which you can access 24 hours a day. So, downsizing is tough, but I think with bikes, you really have to have them on campus. But kayaks and camping gear and things, I think we might have to make a deal with the U-Haul storage for that. And people are interested in gardeners, gardening plots, a lot of gardeners here. So these were the most popular hobbies: reading, walking and hiking, gardening, and music. Then we also had focus groups, and 30 people participated in, or actually 30 people participated in 5 different focus groups. And we heard loud and clear, which soundproofing between homes. And this is something that our board, I mean, a lot of people on the board are looking forward to being residents. So, this is not something that somebody's doing to you, it's somebody doing with us. We're doing it all together. And soundproofing is very important between homes. Private patio, deck, or balcony. The focus group came, and also the survey came out in favor of locally sourced foods, preferably organic. There's a lot of interest in a walking club, or at least promoting people walking together. And the trails that we're building will really help with that. And that continuum of care, if needed, was very important to people. And that's where we work on with the care coordinator and our ultimate plans for memory care. We will be licensed as a RCFE licensing, residential care for the elderly, which allows you to do assisted living and memory care. So low level care, which we're going to facilitate in Humboldt Commons. And then if somebody needs like nighttime care, at least initially until we build our own, we looking forward to having a relationship with Timber Ridge, preferential admission there. And I'm excited about it because it's virtually like being on our campus. There's no wall, it's right there. So same thing with memory care. So one of the things coming up, and I don't have a date for this, and a lot of you have been listening and hearing us talk about this for a long time now, but we're going to have a future residents priority list. And it's a way to show you're interested in moving in soon or in the future. And people who sign up for this will make $1,000 deposit, which is totally refundable. And we'll be the first to receive updates, enjoy special gatherings, and be first to see floor plans and pricing. So at the time we do the future residents priority list, we're not going to have the floor plans and pricing totally set. But rather than delay it longer, we're just going to let people sign up. We will definitely, before we get to the point of having people put a 10% deposit, real strong, expressing strong interest, actually moving in, then we will have all this information. But for now, it not only helps you to benefit you to be in the future resident priority list, but it's going to help Humboldt Commons and Life Plan Humboldt demonstrate that the support in the community, the people who have really interested in potentially moving in. One way, in addition to signing up for the newsletter, one way to find out about this is we're having a friend raising party on November 10th, a Monday, from 5 to 7 p.m. at our Welcome Center, our office at 1585 Hartwood and in McKinleyville. And this will be announced in our newsletter. But I hope some of you I see have been to our parties before. We try every couple of months to have friend-raising parties because for all of us working on this, it's as important to build the social community as it is to build the physical structure. And we could planning to continue the friend-raising parties once we have Humboldt Commons up and built. We can continue to invite people in to socialize with us. But we are in the process of hiring staff for the Welcome Center. And by November 10th, that person will be you'll be able to come and meet the staff. And there will be some Kendall guests there then. And we'll have a lot more information about the future residents priority list. We still need to bridge the financing to get us to the point of construction bonds. And we're going to be borrowing 60 to 70 million dollars. So this is one of the bigger construction projects that Humboldt County has ever seen. But we need you to once more to donate at lifeplanhumboldt.org. We're going to have an end of the year fundraising drive. We really like pledges. It's an easy way for you, doesn't put much of a dent in your budget to give, a lot of people give $33 a month or $50 a month or $100 a month, which over time adds up and really gives us a source of funds we can count on. One-time donations, of course, are welcome. And a growing number of people, as we all get older, are donating directly from their required minimum distribution from their IRA or 401ks, and which gives you, by making that direct donation, the money that you harvest from your IRA does not count as taxable income. And it's also possible to make a direct donation of stocks, and we have advice on the lifeplanhumboldt.org webpage that some of you may have seen. We actually have HumboldtKendall.org, a new website, and it's pretty basic at the moment, and it does have some more information about Kendall, and we're working on integrating them. But for getting more up-to-date regular information, the newsletters are good, and then for donations it's still at lifeplanhumboldt.org. And that, I haven't seen any hands raised, but anybody have comments or suggestions? Or yeah, a number of people are at Life Plan Humboldt. People who ordinarily would be on this are at the Board of Supervisors right now, and I'm hoping that they get positive result. Then, yeah. Hello, yeah, Sugi.
Yes,
You have your hand up.
I am. Do you sell stock? Are you selling stock?
Are we selling stock? No, we're a nonprofit.
Okay, so other than deposit, there's no way to make a loan or
Invest.
At this point, no, we're hoping, we do have that loan source. If we don't raise enough money, then we potentially will, there were a number of people who are interested in making private loans to us. And we have a whole structure set up, but we, rather than put individuals on the line, we prefer to make it an institutional issue. And so our preference now is to get donations, and so we don't have to pay interest. But yeah, I'll keep you in mind if we end up go back to that. But for the time being, we put that on the shelf.
okay, and I have one more question. I've talked to others who are interested in being part of your program and being residents, and they said, as I feel, well, this could be 5 or 10 years in the future. How would you know that there would be availability at the time that you might need it?
Right. Well, I can't guarantee that. I think the only way to, if you really are interested, there's a lot, I mean, I'm gonna sign up right away. I think that there's a lot of, people, with foresight, you can see that there's a lot of advantages to signing up and before you have to move in, the signing up when you can benefit from the socialization. We hope to, there will be turnover, actually, and if you're on the waiting list, you don't lose your position on the waiting list. Um, and Susan, yeah, if you don't need to sign up for the waiting list to continue to be on the mailing list. That's a separate list. But I think that if you're interested in any down in the future, that would be a good idea to get yourself on the future residents priority list.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any
How,
comments?
yeah, how much of the money do you have to have raised before you can start building? And can that money, does it have to come into the donations up to 60 to 70 million, or is it in the form of money toward a unit?
No. Oh, okay, here we go. We've raised $3.3 million. We have a line of credit. We've already actually tapped some of the loan from North Edge Financing in order to buy the property, which we had to do to get the affordable housing going and getting that going. We are, the donations will be used entirely to get us from where we are now to the point where we get bond financing. So we're not having to raise $60 million from donations, just another couple, and I'd say another million would really do us justice here.
So another million.
The way the bond financing works is you get two kinds of bonds, short-term and long-term bonds. And they're arranged by, we have an arrangement now already with Ziegler Bank, which works with nonprofit life plan communities and arranges bonds. And it's companies like Goldman Sachs and big investment firms who buy the bonds. What the entry fees do, and so you don't own your house, you pay an entry fee and you own the right to live there at Life Plan Humboldt until you not living anymore. And the entry fees allow us to pay off the short-term bonds, and then the operating capital from ongoing operations will help us pay off the long-term bonds over a number of years. Does that make it answer your question? So the donation, there's two separate funding or three funding times. One is now the pre-finance, where we do have a line of credit with the Arcata Economic Development, and we are doing fundraising. The more we fundraise, the less interest we have to pay. And there is still a gap between what we got from what we've raised already and the line of credit that we have. Then there's short-term bonds, which we plan to pay off with the entry fees. And we have to, in order to get these bonds, we have to pre-sell 70% of the homes. So in other words, 71 homes. And pre-sale means with 10% deposit, which is also refundable, by the way. But anyways, that's short-term bonds. And then the longer-term bonds will be paid off by the operating income.
So let's start with, I come in with my $1,000.
Yeah.
And at some point you say, pick a unit and put 10% down if you really want to go forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that will occur after you've raised enough money, like enough additional $1 million, is that right? To get the bonds?
Maybe we need to raise more money. Yeah, to get that will occur once we have really the rate limiting is we have to get our licensing together, and we have to get our construction plans and architectural plans fully lined up, and so that we can confidently present to people what, what they're depositing, and they can pick a unit, not just give us money. And I just want to clarify this $1,000 that with the future residents priority list, it does not, we don't touch it. It's going to go in an escrow account. It's not something we can use to pay for our expenses. It's going to is your money, it remains your money. You can roll it over if you want to be part of the 10% deposit for the entry fee.
So right now you're operating off the donations and the contributions from the organizations you listed earlier, like Humboldt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a loan from them. We'll pay
Well,
that.
that's all loans.
Those are
Okay.
loans, and we'll pay those loans back when we get the bond financing. So they're
Okay.
short-term loans. The same thing if we were to, as Suki, get back at your question, if we were to borrow money from individuals, they would be short-term loans, and we'd pay them off with the construction finance.
Okay.
But we
So,
decided not
and-
to do that at this point because it was more secure to get those kind of loans from larger groups rather than individuals.
So if we were to do a timeline, you'd say, okay, in November, we can get on the list for $1,000, which is refundable. And then you continue to have events and solicit donations till you get up to about another million. Is that right?
That's, you know what, that, it may not take us that much. I mean, that's sort of a
Okay, but
aspiration.
enough to, and then
I'd say, yeah, at least 400, 500,000. Prices keep going up.
oh, I know.
Our price is going up. So
And then you've got to do all the plans, or you're doing the plans now with the money you've got.
yeah,
Okay, so you'll be using the existing money to do the plans so that when you reach the point that you can get the bonds, would that be in maybe 4 months, 6 months? Do you have any idea?
probably towards the end of 2026, I'd say. I'm
Okay.
just guessing.
Okay,
it depends
just
on
curious.
a lot of things, and it'd be, up to a year from now.
Okay. And then you'll have the plans and everything through so people can say, okay, here's my 10%. And then you can select a unit because you've done all this planning in between, right?
Yep, we'll have floor plans and, pictures, and you really will select, at that point, you'll select actually where you want to live.
And the possibility of when that would get constructed would be 2027, maybe spring, summer?
It's going to take up to 18 months to develop. So we're targeting that people going to be moving in starting probably the spring of 2028.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, I was just trying to
We
get
got a couple years yet.
some time frame.
Yeah,
Thank you. And what's
we're all
most,
getting older. I can't.
I know we are. I just got 80, it's enough. It's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
So, what you need most right now is, as soon as it's open, people to put in their $1,000, and then as many people who are willing to donate as possible, right?
Yeah, that would help. And we'll be
Okay.
sending out a fundraising letter and with a lot of explanation what it is. And yeah, they've been through it before. Other years we have a lot of supporters, but I just sort of giving you a heads up, that's what's going to happen.
Well,
Yeah,
you've been doing a great job. I've been watching this now over the years, and I always want you to be able to do an OLLI presentation every session if you wish, and you always come up with more things that are of interest. So don't hesitate to tell us what you need and when you need it.
Yeah, and if people have more questions, actually, you can contact through LPH at lifeplanhumboldt.org, or my email address is ann@lifeplanhumboldt.org. I'm happy to answer questions. If you're an interested individual, it's very important to me because I really want anybody who's interested to get all the information we have, but we will have a lot more information um, available at November 10th party. Okay, here we go. I see some more questions.
Yeah,
Estimated,
there are.
I
Yeah.
got that. Will the property and trail be available to those not live there? Yes, the trail is a public trail. And the dining is going to be on subscription that people pay, there'll be monthly fee and you get, we haven't set that, but from the surveys, people seem to be interested in something that'd be like 20 meals a month. And some of the activities and things that we have events like, music events or art shows or something like that, we certainly want to invite people who are interested they're on the waiting list or that are on our mailing list. I mean, we have 1,700 people get our newsletter now, and we'd like them to continue to stay involved. The Kendall affiliation, yes, it does help us get loans. They are very well respected. The fact that it was a real important, it was a testimony to the financial viability of our plans that their board decided to go with us. They are very excited about it because we're considered to be what's called a mid-market project. Some of you may have visited even or know about Enzo Village in Healdsburg, and the entry fees start at $1 million. And there are also, Kendall is affiliated with them. And then there also is another community, Enzo Verde, going up in Orange County, where Kendall and the Zen Center there are putting that up, and it's even more expensive. So that's one of the things we are committed to having our entry fees, which I don't know yet and can't reveal, but our commitment is to have them match what housing costs are in this community. So I guarantee you they're not going to start at $1 million. That I can't say much about it, but it's not going to be $1 million community. And that's very unusual. So we actually, one of the things that got Kendall's attention, but also national attention. The affordable units, they get a different kind of funding and a different, the current plan is for them they'll be built somewhat towards the end of what we're doing. So, that's the plan, but they haven't secured all their funding yet. So we'll see that once they get certain kind of funding, some of the funding's been cut, unfortunately, by the current administration. But they say there's something, investment tax credits or things that they can access that will, that they're still confident that they can pull it off. And they have a lot of experience. That it's $1,000 per couple, per home. So, Ann Carlisle, not per person. So, same thing, the entry fees and the, are adjusted. There'll be so much for one person, but, modest increase for two. It's not going to be double. So, and one of the things we learned actually from the surveys is that people are a lot more interested in 2-bedroom homes than we had planned. And so that's one of the things that's held up the architect is, okay, we have to regroup and get more 2-bedroom homes. But I'm just kind of interested. I keep saying I don't need 2 bathrooms, 2 full baths with 2, a roll-in shower or any of that. I mean, everything's going to be ADA compliant. I'm looking forward to that. But I'd be happy to have 1 full bathroom and a half, a toilet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what the surveys told us too. So I gotta keep mentioning that to the architect, the developers.
I'm not surprised because I used the full bath and shared it, of course, when needed with the shower and stuff. And he had the half bath. So
Yeah.
we each had our own space
We
to
don't need
use
to
as
take a
we
shower.
saw fit.
Anyway, that's one way which will give, I think also people said they want plenty of storage space. So if we
Yeah.
don't have a second shower, a friend of mine lives in a place in Los Altos, and it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. And she didn't need 2 baths, so she made her, stores all her, turned her shower into a closet. And I'd rather have a real closet. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. We've gotten a lot of input from people. Some of you may have participated initially in a design charrette we did. We have 40 people, come and show the architects what they liked and what they didn't like. So, well, and the surveys have helped too.
I presume when we have a cottage, for example, we'll be able to do our own interior decorating.
Yeah, and actually, when you move in, you can make some modifications, like if you want to put gold faucets instead of the stainless issue. You can pay for it and do it. There's some clause, there would be some clause in the residence agreement that you basically have to return it to its state there. But yeah, in terms of, what you put on the walls and where you have, that's up to you. It's not gonna be, it's not like moving into a Motel 6 or anything like that. It's a home.
Any other questions? Yes, no? Say now or forever hold your peace.
Or send me an email.
Yeah, you're clearly accessible and obviously the website.
Yeah,
So,
I encourage you to come to our party. The place where our welcome center is going to be has a beautiful atrium, a big space, and we've actually gotten a grant from the Family Resource Center, which is right next door to us, to host what's called a block party. And I said, "Is it okay if we just invite our supporters?" And I said, "Sure." So they're really supporting our effort to keep people engaged and introduced to McKinleyville and introduced to our welcome center.
that's great.
Put on your calendar.
All right.
Like a RSVP, but so look in your newsletter to how to RSVP. Allows us to plan the food.
Okay, well, I want everybody to let you, so first of all, thank you. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, all our attendees. And let you know that next week on the 27th, we're going to have a talk about artificial intelligence in your pocket. Meet ChatGPT, GPT, Gemini, and Claude. If you're not familiar with those are all, ask it a question and it'll write an essay for you. But it'll give you an answer. It's a stage beyond Googling something. So he will be demoing that. It will not be a PowerPoint. He'll literally be showing you how as he's using it, and you can have your device, whatever it is, your computer and whatever, and go along with it. It will be on Zoom and it will not be recorded. So please do come if you want to see this one, and we'd love to see you there because this is a whole new dimension of our reality that we have access to now. So in our new place at Life Plan Humboldt, we can chat away on our phones and laptops if they still exist by then. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Jana. It's always a pleasure we love OLLI.
Yeah. And if you aren't OLLI members, please join up. We're trying to get to 1,000. We need to do that in order to keep our funding.
We're a little bit more than halfway there.
Yeah. So there's still classes you can sign up. Like if you've got sleep problems, I'm teaching a class this coming Saturday and you need to sign up by Wednesday. We already have 18 enrolled and it's a 2-hour class at the university, free parking, no problem. And I'd be delighted to see you there. So we have we're trying to focus on having more classes that are science related as well as history and all the other issues. And if you have suggestions for brown bag lunches you'd like to hear, now's the time because I have a deadline of 11/15, November 15th to submit my list of who's doing what. And the proposal form is in the newsletter. Or you can go to OLLI and they will have it there. but love to have those of you who are interested in submitting a proposal for the spring. We're talking about spring. Love to have you consider topics you'd like to see. And if you have a topic you'd like to see and somebody you'd like to recommend, but you don't want to do it yourself, send me that information. You can send it to Ollie, or you can send it directly to me at janepwoodward@aol.com. Thank you. Have a great day. It's gorgeous
you.
out.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day, and I'll see you next week. And the recording.